A very good morning to all of you dear students. Today in this class we are going to read a new chapter named The Open Window, written by Hector Hughes Munro. But before starting the class, let's do Brahmanath. Santi, Santi, Santi. Open your eyes. So today we are going to read Unit 1 of the chapter The Open Window. In Unit 1 there is a clear and brief description on the writer named Hector Hughes Munro, but his pen name is Saki. Hector Hughes Munro has taken birth on 18th of December 1870 and died on 13th November 1916 and better known by the pen name Saki. So what's his pen name? Pen name is Saki. He is an eminent English novelist and short story writer. His stories depict human behavior in interesting and playful situations and are remarkable for gentle humor and sparkling wit. So here what is written? It is all about the writer only. Okay, it is mentioned that he was an English novelist as well as a short story writer, and here how human behavior in a playful situation is clearly mentioned in this chapter. Understood it? Okay, look, but before it, tell me what is the meaning of open window? Simple, the window which is open to all. Yes or no? Open window means what? Open door means door is open. Open window means window is open. But here let me tell you one thing, this window is having an important role in this chapter and it is quite significant also. Okay, I am not going to speak you everything right now in the very beginning also. Let's start the topic. So here there are three characters and the characters are Mrs. Sappleton, okay, Mrs. Sappleton, Vera, Mr. Nortel. These are the three characters. Okay, one is Mrs. Sappleton, another character is Vera, next character is Mr. Nortel. But let me tell you one thing, Vera was a young girl of 15 years old and Mrs. Sappleton was her aunt and Vera was her niece, okay, and Mr. Nortel was a stranger in this chapter. My aunt will be down presently. Presently means just right now, soon. I have written the difficult meanings also, you can write it down in your copy. So here, in the very beginning of the chapter, who is the speaker? The speaker is Vera, okay. My aunt will be down presently. She is speaking that soon my aunt will come here. Mr. Nortel, and to whom is she speaking? She is speaking to Mr. Nortel, that Mr. Nortel, very soon my aunt will come. Said a very self-possessed. Self-possessed means what? Calm, confident, okay. And Vera was a girl, she was calm and quiet nature as well as her appearance was signifying that she was a confident girl. Young lady of 15, and he was a young lady of 15 years old only. Who was 15 years old? Vera was 15 years old, and to whom was she speaking to? She was speaking to Mr. Nortel. In the meantime, you must try and put up with me, and in the meantime you must talk to me. Who is speaking? Vera is speaking to Mr. Nortel that my aunt will come very soon. But in the meantime, you could talk to me. I am here to give you the company. This is being spoken by Vera. Frampton Nortel and Deward means right. To say the correct something which should duly flatter the needs of the moment without unduly discounting the aunt that was to come. And here what is mentioned? Look, Frampton Nortel tried to speak something. Endeavor means his attempt, his try. Okay, Mr. Naughtel, he tried to speak something which can flatter the knees, means for which the knees will be puffed up. The knees will feel great, will feel good. But in the meantime, he doesn't want to disrespect the aunt. Who is the aunt here? The aunt was Mrs. Sappleton, and he doesn't want to defame Mrs. Sappleton. And privately, he doubted more than ever whether these formal visits on a succession of total strangers would do much towards helping the nerve cure which he was supposed to be undergoing. So look, the situation is completely different here, and the situation is like that. Mr. Naughtel, who is the character here? Look, there are three characters: Mr. Naughtel, Vera, Mrs. Sappleton. Let me tell you, Mr. Naughtel has paid a visit to Mrs. Sappleton's house, but he was welcomed by Vera, because Vera is speaking in the very beginning of the story that my aunt will down soon, means very soon my aunt will come. So in the meantime, you should talk to me, you should pass your time with me. This one is being spoken by Vera. And then Mr. Naughtel is thinking on something must be going, something in his mind. And what is that? Look, I am telling you, Mr. Naughtel was suffering from some disease, nerve cure, means easily he was getting nervous. His heart was beating very fast, and he tried to get rid of all these things. And that's why, to some extent, the doctors as well as some other people have told him that if he is paying visit to the strangers, then it might help him to get rid of all these things. And this is an opinion which is being given by the doctors. So Mr. Naughtel is thinking that if he pay visit to all the strangers who are completely strangers to him, will it be helpful in his nerve cure treatment that he was going to take part, means that he is going to do? I know how it will be. His sister had said, look here, the scene is changing. Okay, look, the house is there, Vera is there, and she welcomes Mr. Naughtel. Then Mr. Naughtel, there only thinking on his past, that when the doctors told him to shift to another place and to remain in calm and quiet atmosphere, what was the opinion of his sister? His sister told him, I know how it will be, I know what is going to be. His sister had said when he was preparing to migrate, means shift to this rural retreat. And when rural retreat means what? Rural area, village area. And when Mr. Naughtel was planning to visit this village area, his sister told him that what is going to be, what the result will be. You will bury yourself down there. It is mentioned, bury means hide or conceal. And his sister has spoken him that there you will conceal yourself, you will hide yourself. And down there and not speak to a living soul, and your nerves will be worse than ever from moping. So another character is also coming here, and that character is the sister of Mr. Naughtel. Okay, and when the doctors did advise Mr. Naughtel to visit to a calm and quiet to a village area, his sister is speaking to him, I know what is going to happen with you, I know very well. And you will go there, you will remain in a single place, you will hide yourself there, you will not come out, you will not talk to people, and your nerves will be worsened. It means your condition will be more critical. Instead of getting improvement, your health will degrade. This one is being spoken by Mr. Naughtel's sister. Okay, Mr. Frampton Naughtel. And mopping means what? Dull state of mind. Means right now you are quite dull, and if you are going to do so, then this one will be worse to you. I shall just give you letters of introduction to all the people I know there. Some of them, as far as I can remember, were quite nice. Then Mr. Naughtel's sister is speaking to him that I will give you some letter of introduction to some of the people whom I know there, and you just go there, talk to people, mix with them, and I know that some of them are belonging to the nice division, means some are good people present there. Understood? Do you know many of the people, look, up to this much it is being thought by Mr. Naughtel. Then Vera is asking, do you know many of the people round here? Asked the niece. When she judged that they had sufficient silent communion. Communion means what? Communication. Then Vera is asking him, means after spending much time in silence, Vera is asking him, do you know anyone present here? Means is there any known person of yours? Then hardly a soul. Mr. Naughtel is speaking, hardly a soul. Hardly a soul means hardly someone. My sister was staying here in the rectory. Rectory means what? The houses which are made near the church, so that the priest, the father of the church, they can live there. Okay, that one is known as the rectory. You know, some 4 years ago, and she gave me letters of introduction to some of the people here. And you know, my sister was living in the rectory, and before 4 years, and she did give me the letter of introduction of some people who are known to her. This one is being spoken by Mr. Naughtel to Vera. It means here, Vera was having a clear-cut information that Mr. Naughtel was a stranger in that area. Understood? And apart from this, she also knew that Mr. Naughtel knows no one here. Means no known person is available for Mr. Naughtel. Everyone is stranger to him. And Mrs. Appleton's house was the first one that Mr. Naughtel has visited. He made the last statement in a tone of distinct regret, and he told it, he means so Mr. Naughtel told it with some regret in his heart, because he doesn't wish to speak all these things, but he did speak because Vera was asking him. Then you know practically nothing about my aunt. And Vera, smart girl, she is asking the question, then practically you know nothing regarding my aunt. Who is asking? Vera is asking to this question to Mr. Naughtel. Pastor, the self-possessed young lady, and the young lady are speaking that it means you practically know nothing regarding my aunt. It means, look, Vera here, he says trying to bring all the information from Mr. Naughtel. Only her name and address. Admitted the color means who? Here Mr. Naughtel is the color, and Mr. Naughtel is speaking, I know, yes I know. I know only her name and address. Only this much is known to me. He was wondering whether Mrs. Appleton was in the married or widowed state. Widow means a lady whose husband has died. Opposite of widow is widower, means a man whose wife has died. And here Mr. Naughtel is trying to find out either Mrs. Appleton is in married state or in widowed state. It means either her husband is living here or her husband is not living here, because if he knows about all these things, then it would be easy on his part to find out either some male people are living here or not, because when he paid a visit to that place, only Vera was there, and Vera was speaking that her aunt will come. Okay, it means two females are present here, and it was the interest of Mr. Naughtel to find out either some male people are living there or not. An undefinable something about the room seemed to suggest masculine habitation. Undefinable means something which can't be defined, and something he was unable to define, he was unable to find out, but that one symbolizing that definitely there were some male people living in that house. Understood it? And habitation means what? Living or dwelling place. And here Mr. Naughtel was concluding that he seems, means he feels that definitely some male are also living in this house. Okay, you just read up to this much in this class. Did you understand what I have told you? Look, here there are two characters named Mr. Naughtel and three characters, Mr. Naughtel, Vera. Means initially up to this much Mr. Naughtel and Vera is talking, they are talking, and Mrs. Appleton. So what happened one day, Mr. Naughtel paid a visit to Mrs. Appleton's house in order to meet her, but when he reached there, he didn't find Mrs. Appleton. Instead of getting Mrs. Appleton, he met Vera, and he was busy in conversation with Vera, and in the meantime Vera dragged the information from him that either he knows something on Mrs. Appleton or not, or some known people are there in that area or not, and Mr. Naughtel said that he knows no one else, only her sister gave him the introduction of some people with a letter. That's why he has come here, because he was going nerve cure treatment and the doctors, they have advised him to shift to a place, to a calm and quiet area, then only he can focus on the treatment as well as he can get rid of all these things quite fast. Okay. So, then when I is asking, then you practically know nothing regarding my aunt, then Mr. Nautil is also speaking, no, I don't know, I have no idea on your aunt. Okay, understood? So, this much is there. Look, I have taught you half of your unit 1, rest half we will discuss in the next class. But before it, write down the difficult words, and if you have any doubt, you just ask me. Okay, thank you, have a nice time.